Hello, my name is Derek and I am Nigel's father-in-law. When he asked me if I would like to talk about my favourite scripture, the many scriptures came to mind. But to choose a favourite scripture is, I think, dependent on the relevance to oneself, and the one that means a lot to me is to be found in Psalm 37, and in particular verses 3 to 7. It's one we like to quote to people when they're facing problems or going through a difficult situation. So I'd like to read it out to you. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and enjoy safe pasture. Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in him, and he will do this. He will make your righteous reward shine like the dawn, your vindication like the noonday sun. Be still before the Lord, and wait patiently for him. Do not fret when people succeed in their evil ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes. I have these verses underlined in my Bible, and with my handwritten note that says 22nd of October 2000, when I was suspended from work. Ironically, I'm recording this video on the same day, 22nd of October, exactly 20 years to the day that I received the suspension. When I first got saved, I determined that I would do what we are told to do in the Bible. Was it easy? A wonderful bed of roses? Never a problem? No. Just the opposite sometimes. Going back to October 2000, I was working for Bury Council, doing a job at a house in Prestwich, when I was told to report to our depot at Bradley Fold. Arriving there, I was told by my supervisor to get my tools together, leave the depot, and not to return, and that I was being suspended. That was all I knew. I went home in a daze, not knowing why I'd been suspended, how long I was going to be suspended, what had I done wrong. Each day that came, I waited for news of when my case would be heard. It turned out my suspension lasted nearly 6 months. I'd already turned to my Bible, but what to read? So I decided to read through the whole book of Psalms, but one psalm stood out to me, Psalm 37, especially verse 6. It became my focal point. He will make your righteous reward shine like the dawn, your vindication like the noonday sun. He will make your innocence radiate like the dawn, and the justice of your cause will shine like the noonday sun. Your vindication stood out to me. I prayed to the Lord. Lord, I want justice. I want vindication. I did not want there to be any doubt that I was totally innocent of the charge of gross negligence. I have to say I had total peace while I waited for the date of my case. I prayed every day asking for vindication from the Lord. And when the date was finally announced, just before Easter 2001, it was nearly 6 months after my initial suspension. On the day of the hearing, I presented myself along with 4 or 5 top union officials from Manchester, who, if I'm honest, seemed to have no confidence in my being found not guilty. Nevertheless, I presented my case, and management presented their case against me. Then we were asked to leave the room whilst the case was discussed. I remember when we were stood outside in another room. The top official came up to me and just said, "I can't understand you." They were all milling about, restless. They were very sombre. I felt very calm. I wasn't agitated. I wasn't distracted. I had every confidence in the Lord. When we were called back to hear the verdict, my team looked very gloomy. Then I heard the words I had been longing to hear. All the charges against you have been dropped. All the charges against you have been dropped. I wasn't even found not guilty. I had received my vindication. When we got outside, the surprise and relief on the union officials' reactions was quite amusing. As a last dig at me, management made me turn up for work the next day, a Friday. I didn't mind. God had seen me through. He sustained me. I had known the peace that passes all understanding, and he had granted my desire. Bless his holy name.